you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back to our little mini video FAQ series. Today we are going to take a look at cooldowns. Cooldowns are something that are really pretty simple, but a lot of players do not know about them, especially when you first start, and it can be a source of frustration. One of the most common questions we get in our Discord is, why can't I play my card? I just went out and bought a new card, I just went out and rented a new card, and it's not available. Where did it go? There can be multiple answers to that, but the most common answer is it's on cooldown. So anytime, well, not necessarily anytime, but most times that a card changes hands, it can go into cooldown. So if you sell a card, if you delegate a card, it will be on cooldown from right now 7 days since the last time it was played. Now, as of making this video, it's 7 days from the last time it was played. That's actually being changed in the next update. It's going down to 24 hours. So the cooldown is being decreased to 24 hours. So that will change very, very soon. At the moment, it's 7 days, but the concept's staying the same regardless of the time frame. So now renting does not add to a cooldown, but if you rent a card that is already on cooldown, you will not be able to play it. When I say renting does not add to the cooldown, so if you rent somebody the card, they play it, the rental expires after 1 day, that card comes back to you, that card is not on cooldown. But if I go buy a card and the previous owner played it 2 days ago and I list it on the market, it's going to have a cooldown of 5 days remaining. Because there's still, it's been 2 days since it was last played. It has to be 7 days before it can be played again. So if somebody's renting that card, they have to be very cautious. They have to be aware that they're not going to get anything for the first 5 days of the rental. And that could be a little dangerous. So let's go in and look at how you can tell if something is on cooldown. So whenever you're going into, we'll look at the rental screen here. You're going in to rent a card. Let's click on it. Let's look at Kron. Because that would be very frustrating if you went in and rented Kron. No, sorry, I'm not Kron. Llama. If you went in and rented Llama, that's a common pair. Kron and Llama. If you go in and rent Llama and are not able to play it. So you can see all the rental prices here. This column over here in the middle has you can see a clock there. It's a little time symbol, a yellow time symbol. If you hover over it, it will tell you how long until that card can be played again. This one is 3 days. So if you rent this, you cannot play it for 3 days. And okay, that's an expensive price to pay, right? 731 DEC, and you won't be able to play it at all for 3 days. And keep in mind, rentals are 24-hour agreements. So even if you go in and rent a card for, let's say you put it in for 14 days, and you're thinking, I don't necessarily care if it's available for the first 3 days. Maybe you're getting it at a low price, and you're thinking it's still worth it. The owner can cancel the rental, and you can only get it for 24 hours or get it for 3 days. There are, somebody could just be evil and put cards out there for rent that are on cooldown and then pull them back as soon as they get off cooldown. There's nothing to stop people from doing that. And I know that's kind of a sore spot for some people. The devs have said that they don't want to stop rentals because they're on cooldown, because some people will put them up for a cheaper deal and you can get a card for cheaper if you started off on cooldown, but you're not guaranteed that. So I do wish they would put a notification up there. I think they've kind of acknowledged that a notification might be good, so hopefully that will come in the future. I know they're kind of swamped right now trying to get these scaling updates out so we don't have any more issues as we're trying to load the game. But hopefully that will come in the future. But I want you guys just to be aware that especially if you are renting a card, I would personally never rent one that is on cooldown. Now, just because somebody put up a card for rental, just because this person put up a card for rental that's on cooldown, doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to be evil with it. I have put cards up for rent that are on cooldown, mainly because I just do a lot of bulk listing and bulk rentals, and you just go through and I'll list 50, 75 cards at a time or whatever it is, and I'm not paying attention to which ones are on cooldown and which ones aren't. I'm kind of trusting the buyer not to rent it if it's not something that they want that's on cooldown, that type of thing. But a lot of people just don't know, so that's why I'm making this video, so that to hopefully that fewer people will make this mistake of renting a card that is on cooldown that they don't necessarily want. Now, when you're buying it, it's not as much of an issue because you're obviously going to keep that through the cooldown, but renting is where it can kind of be kind of be a sore spot for people. So just keep in mind when you're going to look at renting cards that you probably shouldn't rent one that is on cooldown, just so that you avoid wasting any money that way. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, leave some comments. I know this was not anything that's difficult or anything that I need to go too in depth in, but I just wanted to make sure a lot of you new players understand what is going on with cooldowns and know what to look for, so you don't waste your hard-earned DEC, because I know it can be hard to come by when you first start playing. It can be hard to come by, and hopefully we don't have any frustrated players. So thank you guys for watching. We've got some big announcements coming soon. It's going to be a fun week. We're going to have a huge tournament starting later in the week. Huge tournament with some massive prizes, so I can't wait to unveil the full details on that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the videos, all that. Stay tuned. You'll see that coming. Thanks a lot. Have a great night, everyone.